So we got Hex Cougar here with Premier EDM at Lollapalooza 2025. But Hex just killed Perry's stage. We're here on Friday afternoon, 12:40 to 1:15 set, right? So how was that experience for you, kind of warming up the crowd today?
It was fun, man. I mean, playing early, you always have to kind of temper your expectations, but the crowd was, it was pretty full in the front, you know, and like Chicago always brings it with energy. And yeah, I had a blast, honestly.
Good to hear. What other festivals have you played this festival season, and like how did this one compare? Do you have any memorable shows recently?
I recently played a couple of shows with my homie Joel's from
Yeah.
Played 2 San Francisco shows with him. And I would say just as far as like energy, like those were probably the most hype shows I've played this year so far. Like I played a couple of festivals, but like just that intimate experience of playing to like 500 people in a very small room and like everyone just like raging. That was probably my favorite show experience this year.
Talking about Joel's, who are some of your like biggest inspirations or maybe collaborators? Kind of like looking back in your career, maybe your biggest influences and maybe some of your favorite like up and comers also.
Okay. Well, I would say my biggest inspiration is an artist called Lex Luger.
Really?
Which is like where my name comes from.
Nice. That's dope.
Are you familiar with? Do you know Lex Luger?
Trap beats, Waka, that
Yeah,
Lex
exactly.
Luger, yeah.
So like
okay.
before EDM trap, it was like trap.
Yeah.
Lex Luger was like the guy.
Dude, he was killing it for sure.
So that's where my name came from. I was like making hip hop music for a couple years, and then the whole EDM wave hit America.
That's really interesting.
And I was like, I kind of want to fuse like elements of that with like my roots. So I took Lex Luger, changed it to Hex Cougar because Hex, because like I'm kind of like an emo boy, like a sad boy at heart, and then Cougar because I love cats. So that's how Hex Cougar came about.
Yeah. You were making hip hop beats.
I was making hip hop beats, yeah.
So that's kind of where the idea for kind of trap influences come from in your music, I guess.
Exactly. All of my songs, a lot of them have trap drums, and it's like very, very influenced by that style.
Do you use like the Lex Luger drum kit often?
For the first like 5 years of producing, that was like every single drum sample was a Lex Luger sample. Like the kick, the snare, the hats, the clashes.
Okay.
I think now I don't really use them as much, but I still use the Lex Luger crash for every single drop.
Okay. So let's talk about your most recent EP, Embody. What was like the vibe you were going for, being your most recent release? What was the vibe and like the image, the story behind that album? And, what were some of your favorite qualities of the music you made for that EP?
So Embody I created during a very dark period in my life. During COVID, as many of us were, like I was very depressed. And I kind of stopped making music for like 2 or 3 years. I was about to quit the Hex Cougar projects.
Wow. Damn.
But I kind of reached like a turning point where I got inspired again, and I started making music again. I started developing some more healthy living habits, and I was like, I want this to be about like regeneration, regrowth. So I feel like at the EP cover, it's really about me like lying in a meadow, and like plants are overtaking my body. So it's like kind of like from being dead or whatever, it's like life is starting to grow again. It's like I'm starting to fall in love with electronic music and music again.
Dope. How do you deal with like those maybe negative lingering thoughts still? Like what are some of the healthy adaptations to your lifestyle that you've made that are really effective?
I think, being a electronic artist or being a DJ, it's really easy to get caught up in like the scene, the partying, just the pressures of social media, being like, I gotta put out.
Right, always gotta be active,
Like, just like being hyper obsessed with all the things that aren't music. And it's like when you do that, that kind of takes you away from what originally made you fall in love with it.
Definitely, definitely.
So I think what I did was I just kind of reconnected with that feeling of like fun, experimentation, just like what made me love the music in the first place.
Is that kind of where mine comes in? I know it's a little bit different than your usual music. It has a lot of D&B influence.
Yeah.
But what do you most enjoy about like experimenting with different genres and just like switching it up like that?
Well, that's how I fell in love with making electronic music, which is experimenting, like trying a bunch of different genres, And mine, like I never made a D&B track before that.
Really? Okay.
And I was like, I'm just gonna try something new. And for like, if you're an artist, I highly encourage that. on switching it up. Make any genre you want, honestly. Like, I feel like your sound signature will be imbued in that, you know? You don't have to stick to one genre. If you're, like, if you listen to a Skrillex song, it's like he makes so many different genres, but, like, as soon as you hear it, you're like, that's a Skrillex song.
Yeah.
You know?
Is there any kind of music that you listen to outside of electronic when you really want to, like, I mean, that's really good for your creative, artistic mindset, I think, just listening to other genres too, but, like, talking about Perry's music, like, what would you see, at a festival like today, or what would you listen to in your free time otherwise?
I mean, one of the biggest genres I listen to is, like, rock music, like shoegaze, alternative.
Really?
Honestly, like, in my free time, I don't listen to electronic that much, just because I'm making it.
It's your job. Yeah, I feel the same way sometimes.
I need something else to kind of inspire me. So actually, an artist today played at the exact same time that I played that I really want to see, called Lex Luger.
Okay.
And, like, I've been loving their stuff. It's all like shoegaze.
Yeah.
Okay, well, they had a shoegaze album, but they also make, like, hyperpop. So they do a lot of different stuff.
Sure.
But yeah.
Yeah, hyperpop is cool. I saw Two Hollows last night.
Dude,
Bro,
I love Two Hollows.
Set of the day for sure.
Really?
A lot of fun. Yeah. I just, like, discovered him on the Coachella live stream this year, and I've been kind of obsessed since. So that was a good time.
Right now. He's killing it.
But let's talk about your set some more. Your sets kind of have, like, a clear narrative arc, and they definitely tell a story with the visuals and the music and everything combined. So, like, what does your set prep look like, and what were you hoping to deliver in the experience today at Lollapalooza?
I think for this one, we knew we wanted to create, like, a unique live audio-visual experience. I created the set specifically just for Lollapalooza. Like, Lollapalooza is the only place where you'll see this format of the set, So yeah, for the last 2 or 3 months, me and my girlfriend went out to really remote wilderness locations all around California and just filmed all the visuals for it. And, like, I don't really have, like, a filmography or videography background. I just, like, bought, like, a Fuji camera and was like, let's try this out, see how it looks.
Yeah. Talk about, like, the team behind the visuals and all that. Like, everyone combined back behind the scenes. Like, what did it take to bring this vision to life?
So yeah, like, obviously I directed it. I filmed it with my girlfriend, but we also had an editor. His name is Liz Deck. He's also a fucking cracked producer. He makes amazing music. So he edited everything together. Did all the glitchy shit, made it look cool. That's my friend Cody Burkhardt, who's my best friend from college. One of my best friends from college. He helped bring everything together. But yeah, honestly, mostly it was just me and my girlfriend and Liz Deck.
Cool. I definitely enjoyed the classics you played at the end there, like How Deep Is Your Love and Clarity.
Thank you, man.
That was a nice touch.
Gotta throw on the classics.
For sure. Talking about the classics, I guess. So Arl Grime and Sable Valley have supported you on releases like Silo and your remix of Shrine. So what has that collective support meant to you in your career, and how has it affected you?
It's meant so much, man. Arl has had such a huge influence on my career. I think when I put out the Shrine remix for him, that was, like, a big turning point where I kind of went from, like, more of a bedroom producer to more of, like, a producer that started to play shows, play festivals. Since that moment, I connected with RL. From there, I made Silo with him. So Valley, that whole community has been so supportive of my music, and I really owe, honestly, so much to them. Yeah, for sure.
For someone that was, like, unfamiliar with your music, what would be, like, one song or one release that you would show them, and why?
Probably my latest song, Fantasy.
Yeah.
It incorporates all, like, the newer elements of my music with, like, the older elements of my music. It's inspired by, like, artists like Rusty and Hudson Mohawk that first got me into the scene.
Yeah, man.
10 years ago, So it's like a mix of the new and the old.
How influential was, like, that SoundCloud EDM trap era for you personally, and, like, how did you decide you wanted to be on stage? Like, how was that process, like, mentally for you, like, getting to the point that you're at now?
Yeah, so I went to school at USC, and I don't know if you know anything about USC, but it's right across the street from this venue called the Shrine.
Okay.
So every, like, weekend there'd be huge, massive raves, and being, like, a freshman in college, we're like, I want to go to that. So every weekend you go to these raves, and just seeing, this artist on stage, I was like, holy shit, like, I already make music, so, like, the next step is DJing. I was like, I want to be that person. So that's really what inspired me to get into it. It's been a long, arduous process, and taken a lot of, blood, sweat, and tears, but yeah.
What would some advice you would have for up-and-coming artists given you have so much experience and time in the scene, like what do you think is really effective strategies now to like kind of break through?
That's a good question. I would say try to find a way to make your art stand out. You know,
Sure.
like, don't follow trends. Just make whatever the fuck you want, and like don't be afraid to experiment with different genres. You know, different styles. I think pigeonholing yourself in one style is like kind of detrimental. You know, like I think your sound signature will shine through no matter what you make. You know.
Mm-hmm. What does your like daily or weekly production process look like? Like how many hours do you spend in the studio on average a day?
I mean, it really varies. Like for the past 2 months, I did not make any music at all. You know, just because like I was in Lolla mode, I was in making visuals mode.
Okay. So
it's like sometimes you just have months like that where you do not make music. But when I sit down, you know, it's usually 8 to 10 hour days, just grinding stuff out. I'll usually spend one day just writing chord progressions.
Okay.
Until I find something like, okay, I really like that, and then I'll build a song on top of that.
Sure. So in addition to the EP, what more can your fans expect from you in the future? Like, what do you have for them, like maybe later this year or longer term on the horizon also?
Well, I'm working on something else which I cannot announce. But
okay.
Yeah, I'll say if you... What did you mention?
I mean, well, you have an EP coming up with the singles coming up, right? The singles that have been released.
Oh, yeah.
That hasn't been official. That's not official. We can cut that out.
No, no worries. I was like, shit, is that officially out there?
Well, you have new music on the way then. Like,
yeah.
What can your fans look forward to in the future?
I would just say like a lot more experimentation. Like I said, I'm very inspired by genres like shoegaze, hip hop. I'm trying to find other ways to bridge other genres with electronic music. You know, so like bringing me back to what made me fall in love with EDM, which is experimentation. So I don't want to make the same trap song over and over and over again. I just want to keep on experimenting and like finding ways to push the genre.
Definitely. And like, what excites you most about the future of like the electronic music scene as a whole?
Probably just the way that like so many genres are kind of cross-pollinating. You know, it's like it's really hard to define electronic genres nowadays because it's like, you know, you have people mixing like garage with like trap, and it's like just all these different genres blending together. You know, it's like back in the day when I first fell in love with EDM, there were like the house kids and the dubstep kids. You know, they didn't really talk to each other. They were like,
sure,
you know, you like that, I like this.
Now it's all mashed together on TikTok.
All mashed together.
Yeah.
Everyone, you know, you can go to a festival and you see a bunch of different artists and like everyone gets along. You know, which is amazing.
Yeah, I like that.